Hello everybody. Today's camera is the Infinity Twin Olympus. It's also known as the AF1 Twin. I think the Infinity Twin was the US name, the AF1 was the kind of Europe and UK name. I want to give a bit of a shout out because there's a channel called Film is More Fun, or otherwise known as FIMF, and the chap on that channel did a fantastic review of this camera, which I'd never heard of, and I own quite a few Olympus sort of point and shoot cameras. And after his review, so you should go and check out his channel, I had to get one. It just looks such a fun and kind of unique camera, and so this is my own sort of little review of the camera. So basically this camera has got two lenses. It's got what's called a biaxial twin lens system, which is just a fancy way of saying it's got two lenses. It's got a wide angle 35mm f3.5 and it's got a telephoto 70mm f6.3. And from doing a bit of research, the 35mm is 3 elements in 3 groups and the 70mm is 5 elements in 5 groups. The shutter speeds from 1/15th of a second to 1/750th of a second. And the ISO goes from 50 to 3200. So that's kind of the boring spec stuff. And finally, the only other thing is it takes 2 CR123A batteries, which are 3 volt. Now, those batteries aren't the cheapest. They do last a long time. If I just show you, if I can get this open. Oh, God. You won't have any issues with the battery door opening accidentally, I'll tell you that. So they go in there, there's 2 in there. I actually moved this sticker to the side, often it's on the front. I just thought it looked a bit nicer without it on the front. Yeah, so most point and shoot cameras were either a prime lens, like a fast prime lens, or they've got a zoom, and the zoom is not normally a very fast lens if it's got a zoom on it, and it's very normally on point and shoot cameras, if it's got a zoom lens, then it's quite noisy and things. And I always like prime lenses, whether I'm shooting with a DSLR or anything. I always prefer prime lenses to zoom lenses. So what I liked about this camera was it's actually got 2 prime lenses. So there's no zooming around, there's no motors. You've got 2 distinct lenses there. And then what happens is, when you're using the camera and you want to change between lenses, you press the red button in here and it flicks over, and you can hear this sound as it changes the viewfinder over, and a mirror goes in place so that when you're looking through here, it's changing the view. So as soon as you press that button, you're then looking through the other lens. It is a great, tough, weatherproof camera, and having 2 lenses built in, I just find a kind of novelty thing. But actually the 35mm lens in this is super sharp. The 70mm isn't bad. You know, that's only an f6.3, but it's still pretty good. Other things to kind of mention about this camera are that it came out in 1988, but it took them 18 years, 2006, for Olympus to actually do a recall because some of them had an issue with a sort of faulty flash unit. I think basically like 1 or 2 had some sort of electrical issue and they thought it could be dangerous, so they recalled a load of them. So there's maybe not so many on the second-hand market as there would have been, but any that are on the second-hand market, if they've been working for 18 plus years, and they're probably fine. They're not going to be one of the dodgy ones. Because these cameras are quite cheap, I'm rather fond of them. If I see one going cheap on eBay, I tend to sort of I think, oh, I might have a second one actually. If this ever dies, I'll have another one. And the only issues I've had after buying 1 or 2 of these, and then sort of selling them, or you know, trying to get different versions because there's with the different names, is that I had one where when you press the button like that and it changes over, it got kind of stuck in an infinite loop and just kind of went like that forever. So I contacted the seller on eBay and he completely refunded me and I sent the camera back to him. But I think I was a bit unlucky with that. But this first one that I ever got, I didn't pay very much. It was £20 or something. And it works perfectly, takes great photos. And to have those two lenses, I just think it's brilliant. And as Film is More Fun said on his video, two lenses are better than one. So a shout out to that channel. He's got similar numbers of subscribers to me, and I think he started his channel around the same time as I did. So I wish him all the best of luck, and I hope we're both still making YouTube videos in the years to come. And that was it for the Olympus Infinity Twin. Cheers.